Okay, so the thing I'm kind of worried about, or kind of curious about, is despite me generally liking the PA, it seems so bad against all of this magic damage from Lorem Ipsum. It's like one of your core things about the hero is the mischance you got going on, and here the only hero you can rely on, you know, you can rely on actually having mischance against is the anti-mage. Maybe later on Miku and the Venomancer as well. So yeah, I'm honestly really curious to see why they did what they did, why they picked up the Phantom Assassin here. And we got a YOLO nod. Wait, let me get FUG vision. If I can, Dota please. There we go. So, YOLO. Well, you actually respawn in Dota, so I don't think YOLO is too applicable, but still nice little FUG. And we got this epic pose, but without a freaking inscription. I don't know, this one looks so cool, but people don't really do a lot with it. And then we got Kirito on Patch, chopping things up. Okay, let's see what the Radiant are boasting in terms of FUGs. Invocation by Yebby there. Give me your Anarch. Lord Samseer. Oh yeah, then we got Faded on a freaking... This set, like this loadout, is actually pretty cool. It's one of the cooler ones for Vengeful Spirit anyways, if you ask me. And the last one, My Heart for You. Doesn't really look like much of a heart. Wait, actually I think I know the meme involved here. I think I might actually get what Koala was trying to meme. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna start the game off, and once again, I'm super skeptical about RRQ's lineup. I'm super skeptical about their entire game plan, if I'm honest. I'm not saying it can't work or it won't work. I'm just saying it, you know, it can backfire really hard. This is also one of the few scenarios where I think the casual Hood of Defiance Phantom Assassin is actually justified, because once again there's a crap ton of magical damage. You can't really rely on your evasion all that much this game. "30 seconds to battle." The Dire are all grouped up as if they want to smoke and go invade here, but they don't have a smoke, so I'm guessing they're just really protective of their runes here. What are those anti-mage swords, by the way? Oh yeah, those ones.
The battle begins.
Wait, those are not the... Okay, guess BB swapped heroes with somebody. And it is gonna be a mid lane anti-mage now. That's a really interesting way to line, because Puck on the offlane is more risky than... Or safe lane, well, for now it's an offlane with Earthshake coming down bottom. I don't know, this seems kinda greedy of Lorem Ipsum, if you ask me. You're trying to get the most scaling out of your lineup, and in exchange you really jeopardize your own lanes, so... Both of these teams kind of have some decisions made here that say it could potentially be a really difficult game for them if things backfire, if things start to go south, and I'm curious to see how far, you know, how far that's gonna happen for either team. Never mind. Could be, yep, he's just gonna take down to a kill there, barely enough damage. A kill is gonna get wrecked by Earthshake in exchange, but that was such a nice first blood to get. PA getting a chunk of experience, chunk of gold out of that. And meanwhile Yebby on the mid lane could be going down, but it's gonna be trying to man up here. Will go down to BB for that, and BB lives to tell the tale. Just solves up and continues last hitting. Meanwhile, on the top lane, the one lane where there's literally nothing going on, it's just Jakiro and Puck farming. They're not even, you know, heroes who bother each other all that much. Yeah, they put in some harass here and there, but it's not like there is this insta-kill combo on either side of the lineup. Whereas, you know, with PA you can get a lucky dagger crit, decide to blink on somebody and get a kill where there shouldn't be a kill possible. As for the mid lane, you know, BB shouldn't be getting a ton of kills either. But he kind of is an anti-mage, so against a magical hero like Necrophos, it's not all that surprising that he can actually pull his weight and make things happen. Okay, so it looks like we kinda got the laning stage. I was about to say stabilized, but okay, they're not gonna try and kill off Yabby here. The Earthshaker did get spotted, he walked straight into vision, so I think Yabby's now pretty vigilant. Still BB. Gonna keep annoying him, gotta keep bullying him. And just make sure Necrophos doesn't get anything out of his lane. Right now that's succeeding a great deal. I mean, you have more damage, both lasted and deny wise, to make sure you can get creeps who are still out of Necrophos' range. And that mana burn being used so effectively to force more regen than a Necrophos plans to consume in lane. Really good start here for Team Lorem Ipsum. Whereas RRQ, I mean, if this PA goes well, then this Phantom Assassin could potentially just really turn this game around, really make a ton happen. Meanwhile, we got Koala in a bit of trouble now that Earthshake is coming into the top lane. But Xefer is just able to trade pretty decently with MyPro here, or at least, you know, attempt to. Earthshake is still able to seal the deal, and Jakiro is setting them both on fire. Still gonna go down. Double kill for Puck there. Lorem Ipsum really getting the most, you know, the most done in the early game that you can possibly ask. Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with the fight on top here as Puck is about to go down. And turns out Puck lives to tell the tale, so meanwhile the bottom lane, never mind, is gonna get ran at as well. A lot of fights happening here, which from these lineups is kind of to be expected. But you know, it's weird that there is so little ganks onto Yabby here, and it's just BB jumping at him, hitting him in the face a couple of times, forcing a ton of regen, and this time around Yabby might actually be going down. There we go, despite no mana to burn there anymore. Still plenty of damage onto BB here, and I mean, it is kind of ridiculous how hard you right click on an anti-mage. Despite the 60% physical damage situation, which honestly isn't all that great, especially late game when people start racking up some armor. It's so nice against heroes who rely on their mana to heal. Because when you know, can transition mana to health, you can essentially burn a lot of health by burning very little mana. Kind of an obvious interaction here, but this particular lane, you know, on the middle lane, it really does pay off for Team Lorem Ipsum. And RRQ, it's kind of too late for a lane switch now, so in hindsight that might be an option for the next time you got Necrophos facing up an anti-mage mid.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, still no kill on the top lane. Jakiro, he deals a ton of damage, but... Okay, but meanwhile, never mind. Is gonna go down there once again. And I mean, he's been having a poor game, which kind of makes up for BB's insane mid lane. Curry got sniped as well somewhere, but I think we might see shit about to go down here. Or not. Or wait. Can they catch? Yeah. They do get a slow off. And a Logic not finding a way to... I thought Logic would just disengage by blinking to Echo there. That's why I said or not, which, you know, you couldn't see on my screen. But he was apparently barely out of range or something. Kinda hard to see on the minimap, of course. Still, that means Lorem Ipsum are gonna pull ahead even further. Getting a really high value kill there. Getting pretty much the most important kill at the moment there. And there's the Lich ultimate. And the Mana Void just to finish the deal. BB 2-0-1. Should have really great Battle Fury timing as well as, you know, generally a good spike of momentum going. XP wise as well, you got the Mana Void, you got Mana Burn level maxed in about, you know, 1 or 2 creeps. Meanwhile, the top lane, it looks like Koala might be punished for trying to push down that tier 1 tower. He's gonna put a ton of damage on Puck again. Earthbird still trying to help his buddy out there, but Jakiro breaks the Dream Coil, and in comes the Necrophos as a last minute savior there with the Scythe. Jakiro's still gonna go down, but RRQ, they do get a return kill, they do get a big return kill, and like I said before, Necrophos, one of those typical anti-Puck heroes. One of those heroes which has a ton of synergy with Jakiro, which really allows Jakiro to deal out pretty much all of the damage he potentially can by holding somebody down for so long. And it turns out to be highly effective, as we just saw. On the bottom lane, we got Logic diving deep. That's one way of making the mischance useful for you, but... Okay, that glimpse there from Echo, who this time around makes sure to remain in blink range. I mean, this is that little buddy system, and Disrupt is really good for that combo approach, apparently. You know, most people tend to favor Omni Knight, where you just have an Omni Knight sitting on the sidelines ready to proc out the last second heal. And Logic gets caught there as a kill, forced to run away. No way for the PA of blinking to the buddy there. A kill not quite favorable with the creep RNG, and it's gonna go down to the Lich as well. Meanwhile, BB, he's in a fighting mood. I mean, fat as hell, could potentially get like 14-minute Battle Fury or something.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so we got Anti-Mage versus PA man fight there, I had hoped. Well, BB, he knows he cannot man fight just yet. With that 50% mischance, prioritizing an MKB might be the right call here. Meanwhile, Logic could potentially... Okay, never mind. He gets to wand up in time before a Mana Void comes out there.
Yes. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That would have still been 200 Mana Void damage. Okay, so the man fight continues, and there the 200 Mana Void damage is. Slightly less, but still. Necro is bad against Anti-Mage. Yeah, Necro is pretty bad against Anti-Mage. I think that is why the Anti-Mage has been picked here to begin with. I mean, I didn't expect the Anti-Mage to be mid lane, but picking it up against Necro is pretty much one of the best Necro counters, because you got the spell shield. TNT, meanwhile, is gonna go down. Since Necro's approach is usually, in nearly every scenario, you scythe somebody, and then you use your own or your team's magical nuke damage to burst them down in scythe range and get a kill. You can't do that on an Anti-Mage. You need to get Anti-Mage like really darn low if you want to get a scythe kill on him. And maybe Phantom Assassin might actually be able to enable that kind of situation onto the anti-mage. Where, you know, you get a scythe, PA blinks onto whoever gets scythed. Gets a crit and that person is within Necro's lethal range, even with the spell shield. Which, I know you need to deal a lot of damage really fast, but that's why the Desolated build could be really effective here. Meanwhile, Xeeper is gonna go down. Koala is gonna be able to output a ton of damage here on TNT, and from the backline in comes BB once again, casually cleaving apart Ekil, and now we might see Puck in a bit of trouble, but there's no nuke damage time. And that means BB now all too glad to get back into the fray. There's an Echo Slam as well, just to make sure you get a kill on the Jakiro here, and that's one. Can they capture Yabby here? Okay, Earthbird coming on in. Anti-Mage now dangerously low health, and Yabby manages to live to tell the tale. Necro's flash heal capabilities still very real. Even if you're an Anti-Mage, even if you can burn his mana. The beauty of a wand. Great way of keeping you in the game there, or in the fight in this case. Because, honestly, if RRQ, if they continue losing a ton of fights here, they might be ahead in towers, they might be pushing really hard. But eventually your opponent is gonna kill your entire team, then your opponent can take towers, and that means all the tower gold, which you had to rely on, is far less reliable than gold from outfighting your opponent. Since your opponent can take towers and shrines and generally those objective gold. Well, you get my point. It's too damn early to go into complicated strategical matters here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And seriously, I'm gonna give, since the viewer count has exponentially increased, I'm gonna give another shout out here to my colleague DS Swordfish, who casts Europe today. Seriously guys, you gotta show him some love, because we had a scheduling error causing us both to wake up this damn early. And I definitely can't cast Europe when I wake up this early. I just don't have the energy. I would probably fall asleep during cast. Okay, no time to talk about me hating morning hours, as we got initiation here, and the Reaper Scythe is gonna finish off the Earth Shaker, but he didn't have Echo Slam, so I don't think it matters that much. Generally, however, this is a good initiation for RRQ. They now get the puck as well. That's a 3-for-nothing trade there. By that nice little wraparound initiation. Can we see a fight recap here, Dota? Ekil, that was his revenge for going down while playing buddy system with a logic. You know, the Disruptor being gone on, dying off over and over again. Finally getting his delicious payback with a giant ultimate, just electrocuting everybody to death. But yeah, guys, shout out to my colleague, you know, fellow caster. DS Swordfish actually volunteered to take Europe for today. Well, he woke up just as early as I did.
Thou seest me.
I mean, that's just, you know, one of those moves that kind of makes him the saint of casters in my eyes. That's just such noble sacrifice, and I gotta give him all the credits in the world for that one. Meanwhile, BB is like, hey, a kill. Nice ultimate you had in that previous fight. Well, do you have it now? No. Guess what? You're dead. And there is still a really well-timed Battle Fury. Luckily for BB and generally for Lorem Ipsum, they didn't lose their anti-mage in their top fight. So AM still gets a chance to continue his spree here.
Are scanning.
Wait. Okay, we get anti-mage with a... This is kind of curious, because he's been playing really aggressive, that mid lane anti-mage build, where you usually build the Manta a bit later on in the build. You usually get a Skull Bash or something similar. Or a Vlad's or something to help you throughout this stage of the game. Throughout the 16 to like 22 minute mark. But he seems to be committed to the Insta-Manta style, which is kind of strange. Maybe I missed something. Meanwhile, Logic is gonna get gone on, but the Lich ultimate lacks one bounce needed to secure the kill there, and is just gonna live to tell the tale, it seems. Meanwhile, the Earthshaker is gonna go down. Anti-Mage dies to the Scythe there, as there is enough nuke damage in the end. Meanwhile, Venoman's ultimate is being committed from Nevermind here. Everybody taking a good deal of magic damage, but there is a hood on the Necro, keeping him alive, keeping him able to siege this mid tower. Meanwhile, on the back line there, we got Puck sneaking around, trying to get a kill on Xiefer. No high ground mischance there, but my pro is gonna be going down in exchange. So in the end, the Phantom Assassin dropped there. Still, the Anti-Mage going down means this was still I'd say good, not a perfect, but still a really good fight for Team RRQ, who are now pushing the next tier 2 tower and could potentially, after another one of those fights, go for a high ground siege way earlier than expected here. And PA going for the Desolator build here to enable her to continue man-fighting the Anti-Mage. Mid tower is gonna go down. That means there's only one tier 2 left on the map for the Dire side here, and that tier 2 is at below half health. Meanwhile, all the tier 1s are still standing for the Radiant side. Maybe I don't know about BB's approach, to be honest. He's so talented in terms of skill. It's just that how are Lorem gonna re-establish their map dominance? I mean, BB, he needs like 5 more minutes of farm or more. Meanwhile, my pro probably gonna go down again, doing his best to stay alive for as long as he can, but Earth Spirit is gonna finish the deal together with Illogic there. So yeah, the thing is, BB, he might be off to a really good start. I completely forgot to switch over to net worth, by the way, there. You see, the thing is, by now I've kind of gotten used to how to estimate net worth and shit in this meta. Once a patch comes, I will like instantaneously switch over to net worth at like the 8-minute mark or something, since then it's gonna be really hard to estimate that. But when you know, cast at least 3 hours of Dota every day, it becomes second nature, so sorry for that one, especially this early in the morning. Meanwhile, Venomancer is just gonna get executed there by that freaking giant-ass Reaper thing. And that means the bottom tier 2 tower now dropped. RRQ able to push high ground while the Anti-Mage still needs time to farm, and that's the risk with the mid lane Anti-Mage build. I like Southeast Asia just because a lot of people, they have way better decision making this meta, in my opinion. It might not be, a lot of people say, yeah, but Europe has so many high individual laners, those legendary players, And we do have a ton of them. Exotic Deer, those kind of people who just have that perfect level of lane control, that perfect level of lane winning skill. But in Southeast Asia, you get stuff like what RRQ are pulling here. They have a decent amount of push, and with that decent amount of push, they wreck towers as soon as they can. Really put a ton of tower damage, of siege damage onto the buildings to give Anti-Mage as little space as he can possibly get to make sure his item time is gonna be pretty mediocre. And Rose now gonna go down to RRQ. Anti-Mage finally starting to step up a split push game here. And not just a little, I mean, he is snowballing, that's undeniable. So RRQ, despite really efficiently, oh wait, that's a big initiation. Can PA somehow get away? And yes, Illogic does manage to get out of there despite a 3-man gank. This could be a really big turnaround for RRQ. Yabby. No way. Wait, maybe now he can get the siphon. Doesn't want to apparently. Or his team won't let him. Don't know which one it is. But if you could get it on BB or... You know, even the Venomancer would be pretty huge. However, everybody else manages to disengage. Or not, as Koala. He's gonna walk into enemy terrain, spots out the Lich. And it looks like MyPro's helping out with the split push here. So, Lorem Ipsum, I think what's keeping them in the game at this point and what's actually giving them such a big chance to come on back in this game is BB's brilliant start. Obligatory shrine ping.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And now RRQ on an own spree, okay. So, like I said, Reaper Scythe kill on Venomancer would be devastating for Team Lorem Ipsum. Anti-Mage would be a bit juicier, but this is still more than enough to make work. The Fissure there just buying some time, followed up by a fortification. Lorem Ipsum, not really sure how to defend this here, it looks like. TNT is just gonna go down. And the ownage just continues. Xefer is gonna be able to survive there. Meanwhile, Illogic seems kinda not too optimistic man fighting the anti-mage at this point. There is a Manta Style, so the illusions do help you with mitigating the misstep, but now that anti-mage is stunned, he's an easy target for the PA. And he gets assassinated. It's gonna go down. MyPro's gonna go down as well, buying back, just trying to somehow keep Team Lorem Ipsum in this game, but I think it's already GG. I mean... Okay, actually, backdoor protection coming back up in the base could keep Lorem Ipsum in the game for a while longer.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
MyPro dying back. He's really been more of a utility puck this game, and I mean I called that one during the draft. I do believe that Lorem Ipsum knew it just as well as me, that if you don't put puck mid lane against a lineup which is so good at killing evasive heroes like that, he's either gonna be really useful or really useless and no in between. Like, if you don't get ganked, if you don't lose your lane, you're gonna be able to get a ton done, you're gonna be able to snowball really fast with an anti-mage on the mid lane, getting the most resources out of every lane possible. But if it goes wrong, then you essentially gave away at least one lane for free. And that's what happened here. Puck, kinda completely useless. Anti-Mage and Venomancer, yes, they were doing really well, especially BB's start. I thought it couldn't go wrong. But this again shows greed can be feat. As RRQ take game number 1 out of the first best of 3 series of the day, this damned early in the morning. Not sure what time it is for you guys. Over here, this game was scheduled to start at 7 AM and yeah, we're gonna go to a bit of a break. I'm actually gonna put the Twitter of a colleague of mine